front page of today's Guardian. Trump's comment threatens national unity. NSCIA warns, demands retraction. They want Trump to retract his comments. That's the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. And there's a picture there of, I think this should be Professor Isaac Oloyede, if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah, he should be the one. So what are your thoughts on that, Dr. Dahiru?
I think that statement from the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs is not only irresponsible, it is callous, it is insensitive, lacking in empathy and common sense of logical reasoning. And it's so unfortunate that the apex body of the Muslim community in Nigeria, headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, who is supposed to be the Seriki Muslimi, or the leader of Muslims in Nigeria and even in Niger, can issue such a statement at this time, at a time that we are supposed to be having a national reflection, particularly amongst the Muslim community, as to how come it is our demography, our own divide, our own side of the divide, that has produced the twin problem that Nigeria is battling hard to contain, which is Boko Haram on one hand and banditry on the other hand. This is not a time to be hypocritical, to be insincere. This is not the time to play the ostrich. If anything at all is going to threaten the national unity of Nigeria, it is not Trump's statement. It is this very statement that has been issued by the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. It's mark of complicity on their part. And if I must say, on the part of those of us that are Muslims, when you issue a statement that is so insensitive to the plight of our Christian brethren, it is unfortunate. I did not imagine that this can come out of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. I've heard Sheikh Gumi and some other people making statements. It wasn't something I was bothered about, because I felt that they don't represent the organized, the collective body that represents Muslims in Nigeria. But when this statement came out of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, I was not only embarrassed as a Muslim, I was ashamed of myself. I felt that we have taken a logic, we have taken echo chamber rhetorics to the height of it, to the highest level of ridicule. And this is nothing but an image battering statement for the Muslim community in Nigeria. Trump, again, did not say he was coming to fight Muslims on behalf of Christians. He said he was coming to fight terrorists that are killing Christians. Why is the Muslim community in Nigeria up in arms against such a proposition? Are we the ones killing Christians? Are we supporting the terrorists to kill Christians? Can Muslims actually endure crusader Christian groups rising up to kill Muslims in targeted manner? Is it possible for Muslims to sit down and accept it? Kofi, let me give you a good example. In this same country, recently, 16 northern Muslim hunters were hunted down in Urumi because their identity was mistaken to be bandits, right? The entire Muslim North was up in arms against the Edo State government and its people. It took Okpebolo, the governor of Edo, to go and practically kneel down to appease both the family, the state government, and other critical stakeholders in the North for the killing of 16 people. The North took a special exception to it. I didn't hear the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs making this statement to say, no, it's part of the ongoing crisis in the country that consumed these 16 people. No. It was a special case. It was a specially mentioned case because those who killed them are of different demography. They are Southerners and they are Christians. I also remember vividly when the woman Fatima was killed in Anambra by IPOB elements along with her 4 children. The Anambra State government had to go the extra mile to appease both the family, the other community in Anambra State, and the entire country by showing the seriousness with which the government takes that killing. Even when IPOB elements were killing hundreds, if not thousands of Igbo people in Anambra State. You recall, Kofi, a year or 2 ago, there was an attack on a northern dominated market in Ibadan, if you recall. when that attack happened in Ibadan, and most of the casualties were northerners, a delegation of northerners came to Oyo State to ask questions why. Northern governors of predominantly Muslim states, whose people were targeted, came to Ibadan to ask questions. The governors of the southwest, led by then Akeredolu late now, had to take the initiative to rein in their people, made arrests just to pacify the north. It happened in this country.
All right. Okay.
So when Christians now complain that jihadi groups that are Muslim in outlook, bandits or killer herdsmen that are Muslim in outlook, are killing them, and the numbers are rising to genocidal proportion, a group like Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs should be more concerned about the fact that people within their demography have gone this level of rogue to the point that Nigeria is battling insecurity that emanates from your own demography. Boko Haram members are Muslims. Bandits are Muslims. That should be a concern to the Sultan of Sokoto, who should be at this point be at the forefront of carrying out the necessary reforms that will roll back radicalization and indoctrination that has led to jihadism in Nigeria. But displaying the ostrich, I am so disappointed in him as a Muslim. I'm so disappointed, and I want to call on the government. Enough of this politics. President Tinubu should sit up and stop playing politics with the lives of Nigerians.
Okay.
By this morning, I should have expected that they should have called in the officials of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs for questioning by security agencies, and that should include the Sultan himself. The federal government cannot be making consolatory statements towards the international community, and they are here making provocative statements, asking Trump to retract his statement. How do you reconcile that? They need to be reined in. They need to be cautioned. And I think the Sultan should be giving stern warning never to make such a statement again on national security. If he doesn't have anything to say, let him keep his mouth shut through his Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. This nonsense must not continue.
Right,
it must stop. Right. Enough is enough.
All right, Dr. Dahiru.
Because this is very provocative. How do you explain that such a statement can come out at such a time? Look, I've said it severally. When a Boko Haram Muslim group kills 1 million Muslims, it does not generate the same concern as when it kills 1 Christian. Because genocide has to do with targeted killings on the basis of creed, race, ethnicity, and all other factors that are peculiar to the humanity of the victim.
All right, Dr. Dahiru.
And so genocide in this instance can be raised when the numbers are rising, especially when a group has come under attack by a group that is of different ethnicity and religion from them.
All right,
so it's unfortunate.
All right, so the council, the Sharia Council have asked the president to review the appointment of Professor Josh Amopitan in relation to a legal opinion he offered as part of a study which we covered, we discussed on Friday, wherein he described the insecurity in the northern part of the country based on the reports and the numbers put out by internationally recognized agencies. He described it as of genocidal proportions. So they're saying that he's not balanced, religiously, and that probably the president needs to reconsider, his appointment, probably replace him. I don't know if you've heard that stuff.
First and foremost, I do not know why we have a group called Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. I don't know why that group exists. That group should be disbanded. And the statements that are part of that group has been irrational, provocative, as if somebody wants to plunge Nigeria into a sectarian warfare. A group that calls itself Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. When people make such statements, they will turn around and blame others for Islamophobia. These are the same groups stoking Islamophobia. When Muslims like us are trying to reflect the beauty of Islam, the peace that Islam is, the humanity that is at the core of Islam, through our words, our writings, and our conduct, groups like this will come out and make no sense of our efforts. They will come out gun blazing, attacking people of other faiths, making reckless statements. I mean, such a group in the first place should have nothing like National Council for Sharia in Nigeria, because I believe it's a government-backed group. Somebody's entering salaries from the collective participation of Nigeria under that age, and all they do is to use such provocative statement. So I'm starting my comment today on this matter on the fact that that group should be scrapped. They should scrap that group. Then secondly, again, like I said of the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, this group, this particular, the woman many from this group should have been arrested by DSS by now. President Tinubu, wake up! Before this will cause anarchy and chaos in this country. Wake up!